I'm Gwyneth Paltrow.
Hi, I'm Emma Chamberlain.
Hi, I'm Katherine Heigl.
I am Kylie Jenner.
Hi, I'm Mila Kunis.
And this is Everything I Eat in a Day.
And this is Everything I Eat in a Day.
And this is
Everything I Eat in a Day.
And this is Everything I Eat in a Day.
I'm Abbey Sharp, and this is Everything I Eat in a Day. I want to hop in here super quick to tell you about my sponsor today, Hungry Root. So when I'm down south in the States with my family, I'm really just trying my best to relax. I mean, 2023 is proving to be an insanely busy year, so I try so hard to spend as much time as possible with the kiddos while they're on holiday. And that means spending as little time as possible cooking meals, because moms know they're probably just gonna chuck them on the ground anyway. So Hungry Root has made meals so much easier for me. You basically take a short quiz about your dietary needs and goals, and then Hungry Root will send personalized weekly deliveries packed with healthy groceries, sometimes including 10-minute recipes, plus a bunch of fun snacks for on the go. I've actually discovered a bunch of really cool snacks and products that my kids love, so I am loading up on those every week. But Hungry Root is different from other grocery delivery services because they send you recipe inspiration to make with your haul, but you're also encouraged to mix and match based on what you feel like that night. This has significantly cut down on meal prep, grocery shopping, and food waste. And I've gotten some really great inspiration for meals that have since become regulars in rotation. So if you want to try out Hungry Root for yourself, be the first 100 people to use my promo code ABBY40 and you'll get 40% off of your first order. The first thing I do when I wake up is respond to like my kids screaming, "Mama, Mama!" at the top of their lungs.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
That's like my unofficial official alarm clock. And we go through phases with these kids where they wake up for the day at like 5:30, and then other phases where maybe they'll go back to sleep until like 6:30, 6:45, 7. It's a nice surprise, and I usually don't even know what to do at the time. But regardless, I almost always get a holler before 6 a.m. because like I'm a nightmare.
The world is a nightmare.
Someone has to pee, a teddy bear fell on the ground, the pillow's like facing the wrong way, whatever. So after that initial wake up, I'm basically awake for the day. And I'll hide under the blankets looking at my phone so as not to wake my husband up, unless he's doing the same thing. And I don't look at emails until I start the workday. And I also try to avoid TikTok and YouTube because they stress me out. So I try to just stick to my personal Facebook and read like baby announcements and look at puppy photos. It's about as relaxing as scrolling through social media as a content creator can be. And once my kids are up, I will wash my face, brush my teeth, put on my house coat. That's like my work from home uniform basically. And I make the kids breakfast. And I drink a few cups of water. Just plain basic tap water, no lemon, not alkaline, like whatever's around, whatever's convenient. Sometimes it's like a half drank, half flat San Pellegrino. Hydration. It's a beautiful thing. And then I have my first coffee of the day. I usually do like a soy latte with a splash of this like nut pods creamer thing. It's really delicious. And to all the holistic nutritionists on TikTok who will tell you you should never have coffee bursting in the morning on an empty stomach, I have covered this like a million times on my channel. If you drink coffee regularly, it's not gonna totally up your hormones. And if it bothers your stomach, have it with a snack or try making it like a latte as I do. If it's not broken, don't fix it. So I used to eat a pre-breakfast breakfast, but I do find my digestion is better when I don't. And I'm also just not hungry in the morning anymore. Probably because I'm sleeping better. Thank you, sleep meds. Anyway, I take the first shift with the kids and then my hubby and I swap so that I can get in a quick workout. Since COVID, I haven't even been to a public gym at all. And I kind of love that, right? Like I do a lot of YouTube workouts at home. So I love Pamela Reif, I love MadFit, Sydney Cummings. Plus I just use all the different apps like Peloton to kind of like switch it up. I milk my alone time hour like right down to the second, at which time I have to like rush upstairs just in the nick of time to throw the kids into the car and take them to school. Then I'm back just after like 9 a.m., which is when I get to kind of sit down and have a proper, quiet, child-free meal alone. So I'll usually make myself another latte, a big one, usually 1 shot of regular espresso and 1 shot of decaf. And then I'll take all of my supplements and medications, too many to list, most of which are for anxiety and IBS. And then I'll throw together a simple but like really satisfying breakfast. I like never want to dirty a pan on a weekday because I just want to get to sitting down to work. So some of my favorite breakfasts are like protein oats with like lots of berries on top. I also always add cereal for crunch. I need that like textural contrast. And then I'll usually pair that with a few pieces of toast or like whole grain waffles with some hemp hearts and peanut butter and honey and banana. Like I like to go all out with the toppings. But if it's not protein oats, I'll then do Greek yogurt or cottage cheese and like layer it like a parfait. Again, I don't want breakfast to take more than 10 minutes max, including cleanup. So really whatever is easy to just throw together is what I make. So I'll take a few minutes to just sit down quietly in the kitchen at the bar with my coffee and my breakfast while kind of making a game plan for the day. In Gen Z speak, we could call this like setting my intentions for the day. If I'm filming with my team, it's basically a super chaotic eating day. So all my typical meal times can get a little messy and spontaneous. But if it's an office day where I'm writing or I'm having meetings, I'll go to my office and I'll get to work. And I generally don't have a morning snack anymore because again, I just feel better when I space out my meals. Meal spacing helps to support the migratory motor complex, which is really important for folks with a history of functional gut disorders like me. So my next meal is usually lunch, which happens around 12:30, 1 o'clock. And again, I don't like to spend time cooking in the workday. So basically I always have any leftovers from the night before. So if we had like chicken or tofu, maybe I'll make a wrap with the leftovers. Or if we did like turkey sausage with like potatoes, I'll just warm that up. If I have leftover roasted veggies from dinner, that's my preference for lunch because cooked veggies are just easier on my gut. But if not, I will just throw together like a super simple salad with whatever greens I have in the fridge, any batch prepped veggies that I made for the kids and I, like a huge handful of cheese. You gotta have like a ton of cheese, nuts, a little balsamic vinaigrette, and then I'll just serve that up with the leftover protein and carbs. I also just like feel the need for something sweet in my mouth at the end of like basically any meal. And this is called mouth hunger, and it's totally normal and should be honored without judgment. So sometimes I have a few spoonfuls of ice cream. Sometimes it's just like I need a handful of juicy grapes or an apple, or like shove dry cereal into my mouth. It can really range just based on what I see first and what feels good when I imagine it in my mouth.
That's what she said.
This is one of many reasons why I just could never go low carb. Like carbs give me emotional satisfaction, even when I'm already like physically satiated. So if I were just have that basic salad with no carbs for lunch, I would need a lot more than a few bites of ice cream afterwards because I would be longing for that emotional satisfaction. So yeah, carbs for me are key. My go-to cheat meal, no.
No.
I don't believe in cheat meals. Harper's Bazaar, I'm gonna flip the script here. Like I really think it creates this black and white thinking around food and scarcity mentality. So I basically just try to work fun foods into my daily diet. I'm a dietitian. I think obviously foods are not necessarily always going to be nutritionally equal, but we can still make them morally equal. And calling some foods clean and others like a cheat insinuates moral value. But to answer your question in like a slightly different way, if I had no regard for how food made my body feel or how it affected my energy levels or digestion, etc., my favorite meal would be a baked mac and cheese with like a really crispy panko crust. Like, oof, you gotta have that crunchy crust with like the super ooey gooey center. Ugh. Like whatever the normal ratio of sauce to noodles is, you gotta double it up. So like you gotta have a lot of cheese sauce. Then I would do like roasted Brussels sprouts with some chilies and honey and like a little bacon in there and a glass of really cold Chablis or Sancerre and sticky toffee pudding for dessert. I don't always have these things all at once, but I do have each of them regularly enough that there's really no desire to see any of them as a cheat. Dinner. So I used to be a really adventurous cook. I loved coming up with really unique recipes, and I would spend like over an hour cooking a multi-course meal for myself and my husband. And then I had kids. So yeah, dinners are pretty simple around here because I basically have to serve everything deconstructed family style so that my kids can have their safe foods and they can have some new options to explore. And we try to switch it up, but like most families, we have our favorites. So an Abbey staple meal, as my husband would call it, is actually a recipe that's in my book, Mindful Glow. So I will roast or grill or pan fry some chicken or turkey sausages. There's actually not a lot of options for good chicken sausages in Canada, but in America, man, you guys have more chicken sausages in the store than I have half-drank San Pellegrino in my house. And trust me, I got a lot of those. But anyway, I do the chicken sausages and then I get a head of red cabbage. I shred it up like really, really fine and I braise it with some diced apple, like some balsamic glaze, a little maple syrup, and some Dijon mustard. If I'm entertaining, I'll do it with some crispy bacon bits in there because it definitely makes it better, but it is a whole other step and it's still super delicious without it. Then I make what my son calls mama potatoes. So I parboil some like baby, really cute, like new potatoes, and then I half or quarter them depending on the size, and I pan fry them in a mixture of avocado oil and butter until they're really golden brown and crispy. And then I like finish it off with flaky salt. Honestly, my kid will eat an entire plate and I'm not mad about it. My favorite food cities. So people don't know this, but before I was a YouTuber, I ran a restaurant-centered food blog, like way back in the OG blogging days. So I had the privilege to dine at some like really incredible restaurants around the world, including a lot of really kind of fancy Michelin star spots. And my favorite restaurants were always the ones that had kind of more molecular modernist elements because obviously I can't cook like little olive oil pearls at home on a Tuesday for myself. So if you watch that new movie, The Menu on Disney Plus, it's like stuff like that, minus the bloodbath details. I think some of my most memorable experiences were like 11 Madison Park in New York City, Lazy Bear in San Francisco, super fun, Mugaritz in Spain, Alinea in Chicago, and the Fat Duck in the UK. Oh, the Fat Duck has this dish that's like Alice in Wonderland themed, and I've always really been enamored by that story, so that meal was like particularly super special for me. Lots of good memories, but honestly these days, I just do not have the same stamina to make it through a 4-hour meal with wine pairings, nor could I justify that expense. And also, I have kids now, so date nights are a lot more low-key. But yeah, I'm still super grateful I got to have those experiences while I could. Snacks. Oh, I love snacks. And like snacks to me doesn't mean junk or packaged foods necessarily. They're just small meals to bridge bigger meals. But because of my history with SIBO, I basically now do 3 big meals and then 1 big bedtime snack. And I need like a really big, substantial bedtime snack because I also have insomnia. So if or when I do wake up in the night,
ooh, dinner time.
hunger can be super distracting. So I make damn sure that it's not the reason for me to be up in the night. So yeah, I have a big snack. And I usually like to do something sweet and something savory. I need both. And I'm gonna reveal a really strange sweet snack that I sometimes make. My husband thinks it's super strange anyway, so leave me a comment below on whose side you're on. But I take a few whole grain tortillas and then I scoop in some Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, whichever, and then I add some berries. I put some crunchy cereal and like nuts on top, and then I attempt to roll it up. The inspiration was originally like a makeshift no-cook take on like a crepe or like a blintz, but I actually end up eating it like a taco, and half the time it squirts all over me.
What did he say?
But it tastes really, really good, and it's super satiating. As for savory, I usually do like salty nuts. Like I love wonderful pistachios or popcorn. Love the Lesser Evil Himalayan sea salt one. Oh, it's so good. It's made with coconut oil, but it tastes like so much more buttery than buttery popcorn in my opinion, and it provides a lot of that satiating fiber. But if I have a bigger or later dinner and I don't feel the need to have such a huge, super satiating bedtime snack, but I'm straight up like craving something sweet, I'll just have ice cream. And I don't even need to make it a hunger crushing combo. Sometimes these things are just perfect the way they are. I'm partial to anything with like toffee or caramel or like lots of chunks of other stuff in it. So yeah, I basically always have Netflix and chill in my freezer. It is pretty epic. So Harper's Bazaar, I have been waiting for you to call me, but like I get that these times are super hectic. So as you can see, I just went ahead and I did all of your work for you, like saved you hundreds in editing costs right here. I mean, it's so easy. So like send me an email, like a DM, Messenger Owl, whatever works. I will be here. I'm waiting for that green light to be featured on Food Diaries. Like clearly, I know the drill. So friends, if you want to see me on Harper's Bazaar, send them this video, leave them comments, harass them, tag them, do what you gotta do, internet. I have been studying this format for years now, so help your girl out. Oh, and that is everything I eat in a day.